President Trump set to give remarks on expanding health care options for small businesses in just about an hour. So the question, of course, what effect will this have on the American worker? Here to weigh in, District Media is President Beverly Hallberg. Beverly, great having you in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
No, we know that this is a top issue, perhaps the #1 issue, certainly was in the midterms, health care. And for small business especially, I have a small business, you have a small business. It really is tough getting that, finding the right choices, and the prices go up every year.
And in some areas of this country, there is only one option for people in the individual market. Some cities, no options at all. And so as somebody who buys my own health insurance, I can tell you since the ACA has passed, it's quadrupled in price. So this is quadrupled 400% since the Affordable Care Act has passed. So this is a huge benefit to a large section of this country that have really been hampered by Obamacare.
Do you like what you see with respect to the White House? Because we know President Trump's not your traditional Republican president. So he is doing so many things, whether it's this, a lot of the aid to farmers, the stuff he's doing on prison reform, that would not come out of a traditional Republican White House, in part because it costs money. Or, but do you think do you like what he's doing with these kind of initiatives?
I love it. I mean, I love what we saw with criminal justice reform. I even give Kim Kardashian credit for aligning herself with the president. I'm sure she's gotten a lot of flack for that. But on healthcare specifically, what we're seeing is that even though the core of the ACA is still intact, the president is doing what he can do from this executive position. So what this is doing, you might even want to think of it as a voucher where small businesses can take a certain amount of money, not taxable. So think of it, no taxes at all, give it to an employer, and here's the key part, or an employee. The employee can then shop around. So not only does that benefit the employee, what we're going to see when it comes to insurance companies, they're going to have to start competing again. And when you compete, you see prices go down, of course. So I think as a whole, this leads to more choices and, of course, lower costs.
What's interesting about it is, as much as Democrats have championed ACA, many of these presidential candidates are coming up with, different health care plans, including Medicare for All, which to me suggests that even they realize that the Affordable Care Act, even though it's got a great name, maybe not living up to that name.
Absolutely. We all know that there are problems. I think the individual market and small business owners are proof of that. Their members of Congress and senators are hearing from them. But what Democrats are doing is doubling down on what's bad about the ACA, saying we need a public option, we need Medicare for all. What that does is eliminate all choices altogether. And I think it's important for people to know if Medicare for all or something similar came into effect, that employer-covered insurance that you like, which the majority of the country is in, that goes away. You don't have that anymore. So many people like their insurance with their employer.
And
Medicare,
they love it.
They love it.
We found that out.
Yeah.
We found out when we were promised we wouldn't lose, the doctor. We lost our doctor. We found out you wouldn't lose, the system that you had in place. And millions of Americans did indeed lose that system.
And you even heard Bernie Sanders on CNN this week touting the Canadian healthcare system, saying if you're in Canada, all you have to do is show up to the doctors and they'll treat you and it's at no cost. Two problems with that. First of all, it does cost in higher taxes, so your taxes will go up. Second of all, the wait times in Canada alone, if you need a hip replacement over a year, there's a reason why people come to the States.
The idea is to be able to guess when you're going to need it, right? So you show up now because you think your hip is going to hurt a year from now, and you might be just in place. All right, I got less than a minute to go. There's a job opening in Washington, D.C.
There is.
You're a communications expert.
You're putting me on the spot.
I know, but it's... Listen, it's a heck of a job. No one knows who President Trump is going to pick. I mean, who do you think he should be looking at? Is there anybody in your mind that you think should follow behind Sarah Sanders?
Well, I don't know of anybody. I don't know of anybody offhand because those are big shoes to fill. I give Sarah Huckabee Sanders credit because I think she had the toughest job in this administration. Because let's not forget, she has a president, the president of the United States, who's most combative or more combative to the media than ever before, and that's her realm. And I thought she handled it with a lot of dignity and grace.
Yeah, unfortunately, he took it out on her so many times. Beverly, you're fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.